why is story more important than money or a monument or an award?
We have been telling stories since the dawn of time. We first began with sticks and petroglyphs, right? And drum beats and other things. But around campfires, we have been using the power of story and then words and language as it came about ever since the dawn of time. And it's how we learn roles. It's how we learn to relate to one another. It's how we learn the heroes and sheroes journey, which is very cyclical. And some of us will be on 3 or 4 of those in our lifetime, especially if we're adventurous. But I will tell you that the power of story, especially the stories that we love and believe in, really dictate what we manifest and choose to create in the world. Because if we believe to our core that we're not enough, that the world is an unsafe place, that life sucks, that there's never enough money, that there's, we believe those things, we move forward in life as if that is true for us, and we will find that truth wherever we go. If we choose to believe that the world is great and that there's messy people, but the world is inherently great and there's goodness in everyone, and that there is something for us to learn every single day, and that there is a beautiful legacy that we can leave the world, then we begin to act accordingly. We begin to manage our behaviors in a different way. We do all kinds of things we wouldn't do if we believed the world was rotten. And by believing that the world is good, we create incredible miracles, each individual. And I've seen it over and over. And so those are just the stories that we tell ourselves. Then there's the stories that we relate to our children. Then there's the stories we give as teachers, the stories we give, as an insurance agent, as a business person. There are story after story after story. We're built on stories. We are more story than just about anything else when you think about it.
How do you inspire someone to change their story?
One of the things I found most effective is to work with people on what their core values are. Or one of my authors that she's writing a book, it has to do with what she calls it's in your bones, innate drivers. But we all have these intrinsic values and they are story driven. But when we get in touch with those and we recognize, like, to my core, oh my goodness, I am these amazing things and this is what I stand for and this is what I believe in, then suddenly that tends to have an energetic effect on, now, how am I going to show up today?
It's so true. That is so huge. The deeper question than that, how do you get a person, Bridget, to even know what their why is if they don't know?
Right. Well, I have seen the power of knowing the why. In Japanese, they call it ikigai, your reason for breathing. Like, you find these ways to get down to that inherent self of, I have a purpose on the planet, and in ikigai, it's doing something that you're good at, that you love, so that passion comes through, but also something that will serve the world. I don't know if you've ever seen the fishmongers in Seattle at Pike's Place.
I have. They're so excited and throwing the fish around and the whole thing.
Right? They have the stinky, smelliest job on the planet. They have to get up at 3:30 or 4 in the morning and they're freezing cold and full of slime. They have the best time. And this is what is possible no matter what your job is. I don't care if you're an accountant or a data programmer or whatever it might be. We have the ability to find our why and then bring that why out into the world.